Hello, everyone, and welcome to Final Show. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've just got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I want to let everybody know that our addresses have changed. Our Twitch channel has changed from Senstaku to twitch.tv/FinalShowFilms, and our YouTube channel has also changed to youtube.com/FinalShowFilms. Next, we want to thank our $20 tier supporters on Patreon, which is patreon.com/FFilms, by the way, if you want to go throw a couple bucks our way. That's going to be Cat, Waterflame, Antitonic, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Montee. Thank you guys for that. Also, our website is in the process of getting updated, so go take a look at finalshowfilms.com. We've got Mara and Jeremy are working on updating all of our stuff there, making it look nice and like a modern website, and frankly, they know what they're doing far better than I or Austin ever did. So if you want to check out the things that are changing over there, you go do that. Follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films for updates for all future things, including things that are going on with our website and going on with the Patreon page, and things that are going on live as we stream them, as well as our podcasts and everything else. So thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a good day. And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Edge of the Empire Afterlight Skies, where we are approaching the finale. Or rather, we are...
One could almost say it's about to happen.
We have arrived at the finale.
We have arrived at the finale, or I believe technically the epilogue, going by what I was tweeting. But yeah. So let's introduce the characters that have arrived at the end of this journey, starting with William.
Hi, I'm William, and I am playing Helix, HK-53 Assassination Droid. And I have rolled for Destiny a dark side.
Right. And Kat?
Kat, and I am playing Powder, the surgical droid. And I gave us another dark side.
And John?
And I'm playing Iris Artinos, the Mandalorian mercenary soldier. I rolled another dark side.
Jeremy?
I appreciate you waiting for me to get into roll 20. My name is Jerry. I am playing Lexira Zeltron of we'll just say Force user. And I rolled a light side.
Well, with overwhelming darkness and little fate at all. Last time on Afterlight Sky is the party finally confronted someone who'd been shadowing the group since its early days by the name of Aki Taurus, a commander within the Imperial Army. He seemed to have some unconventional methods, and the party had started to piece together that she was involved in some greater scheme. She had terrorized the home world of a former party member and tried to blow up the party, I believe, on at least one occasion. In addition to otherwise mucking with allies and being generally very imperial. Specifically, the Lux managed to defeat her down on the surface of the planet. On top of some rotating saw blades, is a Star Destroyer here that had been hovering just above the cloud cover, broke open the sky, raining down laser fire on the small mining community. The group is ostensibly here to liberate, defend, something like that.
Something like that.
And we're going to pick up with Lux and Powder, who are on the surface of this planet. You can see people scattered in panicked throngs running around. If you try and take a calmer look of the situation, you can no longer spot any of the armed forces that were hanging out on the rooftops when this procession military parade announcement thing began.
Okay. I am going to hold on just a second. Let me see if how far I can extend this. Not very far, I don't think. But run through all of my stuff. Okay. Magnitude. Force points to increase the number of mines affected. So I will just start with the people closest, and I am going to try to influence. I know that that this will cause strain because I will have to use light side points for it instead of the normal dark side. I'm going to try and calm some of these fuckers down.
All right.
But with talk and, we're going to help you. We're going to help take care of this, but we need you calm, not trampling each other, please. And hope that the fact that I just murdered the person terrorizing them perhaps helps me a little bit.
I'll say you can have a boost die for that.
Okay.
But I'm going to say there's also a setback die because there's still actively fire raining down on them from a very powerful ship.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm going to... Okay, so make a core. Would this be... So I can add roll an influence power check as part of the pool for coercion, charm, deception, leadership, or negotiation.
You want them to calm down in a stressful situation where they're being fired upon. I'm going to make that leadership, especially because you're employing that I killed the lady who's doing this.
Okay, fair enough. So I doopy-doopy-doo. Influence, change this to leadership, which I'm not even looking, so I don't even know if I have any dice in this.
And I'm going to say
you said setback and
difficulty probably 3.
Difficulty 3. A boost and a setback, you said?
Yeah. 1 boost for killing Aki, 1 setback for there still being a Star Destroyer in the sky.
Cool, makes sense. That's a lot of symbols that just came up.
Okay. So
instead it comes out a little bit more forceful and it cows them into calmness? Listen, calm the fuck down. Get yourselves in order.
Yeah. That is an exceptional success, even though your force point can't really be used to calm people.
Right.
You feel yourself wrapping through the mind, and not just like the 1 or 2 people you're trying to talk most directly to, but sort of rippling from the area you stand, this aura of, no, I'm in charge. Calm the fuck down and stop running all over each other.
It's gonna be okay. Stop being little bitches. I mean, that's not literally what I say.
But might as well be literally what you said.
It's probably the impression that I'm giving.
Yeah, but We'll hold on to all of those threats and keep that in mind in a moment. Powder.
Powder is at 10 out of 13 wounds, so they are going to emergency repair patch and try and fix themselves.
All right. I believe that's a mechanics check. Or the emergency one might be the one that doesn't require a check.
Yeah, I don't think it requires anything.
Okay.
It just heals me for 3 wounds, I think, if I'm reading this properly.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that is what I shall do.
Instead of influencing tranquility, Lux influenced fear. But specifically, fear of Lux.
Yep.
I mean, I view that as kind of like the moment in Clue where whack! I had to stop her screaming.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I wrote myself a note now that I have used 1 emergency patch today because I can use up to. How far away from me is Lux?
Not too far. You definitely see Lux starting to reach out and try and calm people.
Okay. I'm going to try to get closer to Lux because if for some reason, or I should say, if hopefully we get a ship pickup, we should at least be together. Don't know if it's going to happen, but
I'm gonna say if you're hoping for ship pickup, make me a vigilance check, just difficulty 1.
That would pick you up is currently inside a bigger ship.
Yep. Okay, difficulty of 1. 2 successes. That's not too bad, actually.
Yeah, so you definitely sort of the camera follows Powder's gaze up, and you can see this tractor beam just finishing pulling the Coyote, I believe, Felix's ship up into the belly of the Star Destroyer.
Is that when I get to start shooting things? Because I was waiting to shoot things.
So,
Great.
follow that thread for a moment.
Like, Lux, I think we have a problem.
Helix, Ares, you and Jez, Helix's pilot, and her 2 counterpart are currently in a tractor beam, and you can see behind you, from the angle you're at, you can see the hangar door close. You can't really, if you're still in the cockpit, you can't really see into the rest of the of whatever hangar is here. But there's a metal door leading to space shut in front of you.
I was in the gunnery pit, hoping to be shooting at any stormtroopers that are in the hangar. In like the little like at the bottom of the ship, the little turret that spins around.
Right. Then Ares, from your angle, you can see a little ways into the cockpit. You can see some sort of large white barriers that seem to have some sort of technology adhered to the front of them, or placed between you and seeing any further. You know that this hangar probably should be bigger because it needs to let a lot of little ships in and out. But essentially, from your perspective, there's a wall on the other side right now.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Because there's absolutely nothing to go wrong with unloading a ship's weaponry inside the hangar bay of another ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna say make that roll, and I'm gonna flip a dark side point.
All right.
Because this could go very badly for you.
The intention is that it goes badly for everyone. And I've been aiming for 2 rounds because I was aiming on the way up.
I mean, you're shooting a wall at reasonable range, so no size difference penalty or any of the other things that kind of come with ship weapons.
I'm going to go ahead and use my true aim maneuver and fire, which doesn't give me any more boost die because you can only get a max of 2 boost die, but it does upgrade my roll. And fire. 3 successes, 4 advantage.
Yeah.
I would like to activate whatever the fuck I can activate. William, what does this gun have?
It is a forward-mounted auto blaster that is twin-linked. It has the auto fire special ability.
Activating auto fire. Twice.
All right.
Which means it does. What's the damage on the gun?
The gun's damage is 3.
So that's.
And ship damage.
4, 5. So that's 50. That's 150 damage.
2 non-ship things.
2 non-ship things.
That's 15 damage.
15 damage to ship things.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're firing at a blockade, which is considered ship for the purposes of being a ship blockade.
That's fine. 15 damage.
Okay. I was gonna say, how the hell?
Which is 100.
That 150 damage, for those unfamiliar with the system, would have been enough to take out the Star Destroyer itself.
Yeah, that's only for non-ship
numbers
things.
don't go that high.
Because ship damage gets multiplied by 10 on
When
non-ship.
you're shooting a person. But so you shoot, and you definitely fire off some heavy shots into this blockade, and it does that Star Wars thing where the blue light kind of ripples on these white barriers, seemingly absorbing a decent amount of the damage. You can give me God, it's been so long. Knowledge military, it's probably called something. Knowledge warfare, if you'd like.
What difficulty?
Difficulty 2.
Do I get any sort of bonuses?
You're allowed to make it because of your background.
All right. Success and advantage.
Okay. With the success and an advantage, you don't know exactly what leads to these kinds of barriers, but you know that they are usually implemented like as shielding to either block off a base, or if you're worried about fire from large speeders or heavily augmented speeders, you might set up a few as roadblocks. You probably have enough firepower to shoot through it, but it's gonna probably take a really long ass time.
Over the ship-wide intercom. I think we're gonna have to go on foot if we want to blow stuff up.
Statement. I believe it's time we introduced ourselves to the Empire on a more personal level.
Did I get my axe?
Acknowledgement. Yes, bring your axe.
All right.
I will bring my rifle and my vibro sword.
Bring my rifle. Ah, if I bring my axe, I have to drop the shield. Decisions.
Well, while you figure out what equipment you have, I remembered I forgot some of my character sheets.
If I bring the axe, I have to drop the shield, which drops my defense from 3-3 to 1-1. I feel like the shield is more important.
Between the two of us, you're the tank. So
Yeah. I'm bringing the and also the my gun just does more damage because I can auto fire, and it's got the underbarrel flame protector because I have a gun that is also a flamethrower. All right, I'm not bringing the axe. I am bringing my shield and my gun that is also a flamethrower.
Okay.
Because we might need to throw some flame. It's a Flammenwerfer. What does it do? It wuffs Flammen.
All right. So, Juzzle sort of want me to stay with the ship?
acknowledgement. Be prepared to depart if things begin to get explosive.
Okay. They can potentially jam it, but I'll try and keep comms open and maybe see what the fuck is happening down on the surface right now.
Acknowledgement. Good plan.
Do I have any Helix, do we have any medkits or stim packs?
Query. On a ship piloted primarily by a mechanic who is not intended to enter combat scenarios and mainly crewed by 2 droids, one of which is the combat active one, are there any medkits?
What you're saying is you're not prepared.
Here, and she'll throw you what looks like the kind of med kit that you might keep in a mechanic shop in case someone cuts their finger, more than it looks like a proper one, but will serve as a one-use emergency medical kit.
Okay, and I've got 1 stim pack left. I was just checking to see if we had any more.
Helix opens up one of the numerous chest cavities that he's got and just shows the 4 emergency repair patches that he has.
I'm going to inject a stim pack in myself.
Most of the time, Star Destroyers are pretty automated. Need to bring along 138990, or can you 2 handle the slicing?
That is
Most of the time when I handle slicing, it involves actually cutting things, so that might be a useful thing.
Let me check.
Pro tip: don't try that on Star Destroyer doors. It doesn't work out well. There's internal circuitry.
Yeah, slicing is.
You see her consciously rub one of the many sort of electric burn scars on her arms.
Well,
slicing things would be either computers or mechanics, correct?
Yeah, most of the time it's computers if you've got a direct input, mechanics to rewire something.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, acknowledgement. 138 would indeed be a good companion for this trip.
Okay.
That's probably better than my plan, which was to shoot whatever stormtrooper I can find and search for keycards. It'll probably take a bit longer.
I mean, that might get you into restricted areas, but most stores you're probably going to need more general things than keycards.
Fair enough. Let's go. Let's say hi to the neighbors.
All right. So, 3 of you head out. As you do, you who can see what was visible to Ares from the cockpit or from the gunnery pit. There's large, definitely taller than either of you, maybe 12, 13 feet. I don't know, distance measurements. High, essentially barricades. Some sort of technology laced through them, presumably what allows them to absorb a lot of gunnery fire and the sorts of cannons that you get on ships. Looking around, the room seems otherwise deserted, but you can't see past the barricades. There's the door that UK's came in through, the hatch, and yeah. What you've got for now.
Is there any like visible way to get past the barricade, or
You can probably either try and the easiest way would probably be to climb them. They don't go all the way to the ceiling. You could look around and try other things, but
so I can just jet to the other side of these and try to find a way to open them up. I have a feeling though that there are people on the other side of these who will start shooting at me when I do that.
Query, would you like fire support?
I mean, you want me to drop you off on top of it?
Acknowledgement. I'm not exactly the heaviest thing you've ever carried.
That's true. I would like to grab Helix and basically jet up above the barricade, dropping Helix off on top of it as I go.
I'm gonna say, because that is a pretty specific maneuver, make me a piloting planetary difficulty 2. You're not over encumbered from your weapons, correct?
No, I am not.
Okay. If you were, there would be probably some additional
3 successes and a triumph. And
Yeah,
2
you're
threats. What do we see on the other side of the barricade?
So as you two lift up into Ares, you are sort of, or Ares, you probably land on the floor on the other side. Helix, you get dropped off up top. You see an empty hangar. There are many, oh God. That's a bad way to put it in your notes, me. Many TIE fighters sort of lined up in order, or if either of you have been inside a Star Destroyer before, somewhat standard like.
Yeah.
Deployment, yeah.
Yeah, standard deployment. One thing that you notice is quite unusual is every single one of these TIE fighters has some form of personalization to it. One of them is bright red with flame decals. One of them just has "Long Live the Empire" spray painted quite lazily on the side. But each one of them has some level of personal flair. And if Ares, with your sort of background in piloting, you suspect some of them probably also have like modifiers to how they work.
Mm-hmm.
They've been customized.
Hangar bay is empty, except for the TIE fighters.
Hangar bay is empty, except for the TIE fighters.
Except for custom ties.
Yeah. On the far side, you can see several doors that probably lead out into hallways or the areas that troops might enter from. You can see up, especially from Helix's perspective, you can see one of those sort of upper...
Catwalks?
I describe them as survey bubbles. The little one-way glassed upper layer, or that probably is some sort of command center, but being as it is, you can't actually see if there's anyone in there.
Do we want to go do we want to investigate that to lower the barricade, or do we want to just fly the droid over the other droid over the barricade at this point?
Helix is kind of busy at the moment examining the ships that have been sort of arrayed around.
Sure.
Query. I'm not as familiar with Imperial armament, but I do recognize the acronym for TIE Fighter as Twin Ion Engine.
Yes.
Does that mean they could potentially fire off an ion discharge if perhaps fiddled with in the wrong way?
Entirely possible. Really, with TIE fighters, if you throw a rock at them the wrong way, they explode, so...
Notation. Ion discharges are the type of explosive payload used to disable ships in flight. A number of them in the hangar, unshielded, might perhaps do an amount of damage even to a Star Destroyer.
Possibly. I would note that you, I can't think of the designation of the R2 droid, and your ship are also in this hangar.
Acknowledgement, this is true, but perhaps an exit strategy.
Absolutely. Something to set off when we're leaving.
Either of you can also make me a knowledge warfare to get more information on the plan, but that was not what I was expecting.
Difficulty 2?
Yep.
A success and a threat.
A success and a threat.
Right. So both of you would know, yes, twin iron on cannons, if you wired TIE fighters the wrong way, TIE fighters do tend to be pretty volatile, easy to explode relatively. The other thing you'd both be aware of is that most hangars that carry more volatile ships tend to have some level of contingency. If those ships tend to catch fire, there's usually fire extinguishers. If they tend to do ion blast, there's usually some ion shielding. There's enough TIE fighters here that if you manage to set them all off simultaneously or successfully sabotage every single one, there's a decent chance you could do some real damage. But setting off one might not be enough to do anything other than fry the few TIE fighters around it, given that this is a space specifically designed to hold them.
Here's the idea. We get your pilot to rig these all up to explode, since she did such a beautiful job with the mines earlier. Or with general chaos in general. We get you and I going through to find out how we can disable the ion shielding in this hangar, and potentially disable just shielding and tractor beams and everything else all throughout the place, as well as making our way to the command center to shoot as many Imperial scum as we can.
So I'll just sort of activate the comm link. Query. Jez, how skilled are you at rigging TIE fighters to explode?
It's not a specialty of mine, but I know the basic principles of exploding most anything.
Query. How do you feel about disabling a Star Destroyer by setting off all of its TIE fighters?
Yep, we can definitely try.
I'm going to take the time.
It's going to be a quite big fireball. I hope we've got a plan for being out of blast radius.
Acknowledgement. Ares and I are intending to go see what we can do about disabling tractor beams and shields.
Cool. And as I assume you start the process of trying to move people over the barricade,
Yep.
which is going to take a bit of time, back down on the surface, because even at the finale, this group cannot not be split up for a single moment.
I blame Lux for that.
You know what?
We could have just shot her from space and continued on, but no! Someone had to have a lightsaber duel.
Yeah, because that would have 100% worked.
It did on her droids.
Anyway.
Question: how do we get to where they are?
Yep, that is a question. I believe both of you know essentially what happened to the other half of the group. But so
I'm Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I am reaching out, grabbing one of those people that I just cowed into calmness.
All right.
You. I have a question. Calm down, relax. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to hurt you. Where is the nearest thing that can get us from here? Point us, not meaning you. You're not coming with. Don't worry. From here, point up to the Star Destroyer to there. There's a ship that can get us there. They're gonna know exactly where.
The random guy you have grabbed kind of looks at you utterly petrified, and you're kind of like, oh, I probably aimed for the wrong emotions. Oops.
Eh,
I don't know. There's the Imperials are out of there. They set up some barracks. There's the shipyard. I'm a botanist. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'm a botanist.
I'm not going to kill you. Easy. Calm down. Everything's going to be okay.
Calm down. Everything's fine.
What's your name?
Harold?
Harold. My name's Lux. I know I'm in freaky scary mode at the moment. But that's because I just fought that's just because I just fought the craziest bitch I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna hurt you. We're here to make sure nobody from the Empire can hurt you again. Okay?
All right. So there was a lot of
Now, when you saw, I'm assuming the Star Destroyer has appeared in the sky before. When you saw Psycho Bitch and her people going from the ground to the Star Destroyer, where were they leaving from?
the barracks, I think, mostly.
Awesome. All right, I need you to do something for me. I need you to get as many people as you can from here to safety. Can you do that? Just get them out of the open. Get them somewhere. The mines would be great. Somewhere where they have some level of protection in case we're going to try. We're going to, and we're probably going to succeed. But on the off chance that we don't, that will offer some level of protection if that thing's guns start going off on you.
He
just start hurting people as best you can. Get people that grab some people that you think will be able to help you herd people. Just
are you saying herd people?
Herd, yes.
Okay, because I'm hearing hurt people, and I'm like, that's not the message.
No. Herd, as in what you tried to do with a bunch of cats.
Just making sure. Oh boy, oh boy.
If
so
you
I'm
can
now going to bring up that it was also...
No, that's fine. You're good.
Yeah. It's also a critical threat on your roll. So just because it's dramatically appropriate, at this point, all of the Star Destroyer's weapons are lighting up again.
And I need you to be quick about it. Don't look up. That's just going to freak you out. Just grab and go. Powder!
Coming. As Powder makes
that way.
All right.
And we're
and
running
you're headed
for the
towards
barracks.
the base.
There's probably a ship there that can get us up there.
Probably.
And if not, there's probably somewhere that we can there's probably somewhere fortified that maybe we can survive if the Star Destroyer unleashes on the ground.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is just going to take a minute because
mean-
even if not all of them can fire because they're in different directions.
Right.
So all of these sort of ion cannon batteries re-aim and are going to start firing down over at the ship lot.
Good. That's not where we're going.
This is where our ship is, though.
Yeah.
We'll get a new one, an Imperial one.
We will fly out of here in a half-crippled Imperial Star Destroyer.
I don't think we're going to do that. We don't have thousands of people. We're not drafting the people of this planet, Ares.
You only need like 60 pilots, okay?
Hey, all I know is that if we can get out of here, I can probably get us back to Crossroads because that's never failed me before.
So
not helpful.
These ion cannons start taking aim and just bombarding the shipyard. From where you are, it's impossible to know whether or not the Nasari would have been in the line of fire. And we're immediately around you in the air. People are sort of spreading out and just running in any given direction, with the exception of the slightly more organized group that Lux terrified into being orderly about their escape. But more of these blasts rain down, destroying buildings, definitely incinerating people.
Cool.
As you guys start heading towards the military barracks.
And I have used another patch on myself.
Yeah, go ahead. Remember the reduced effectiveness whenever that kicks in.
Yep.
Why is my phone going off right now?
At least it didn't scream Silas at us.
No, I haven't set that. I haven't set that tone yet. Thing is, the phone was on silent, but that went off anyway.
Wasn't an alarm.
No. There was someone calling me, but for some reason it still went off.
Is your phone on silent, or was the volume just turned down?
Ah, there we go. It was media volume. For some reason it was focusing on media volume rather than call volume. I don't know why.
That would be why.
Okay.
Oh, phones and the inability to...
Ain't technology grand.
Says the droid.
Yeah, brought to you by technology.
Yep. All right.
In a very literal sense. Okay.
Is Lux hurt? like I mean, duh, Lux is hurt, but like a super lot, like you're close to death hurt, or
I think so.
I have 2 wounds left.
okay. As soon as we get where we're going, I'm gonna try to heal you.
All right. So as you guys hear more gunfire behind you, because the Star Destroyer really hasn't stopped firing and just going in cycles, you reach the sort of base area. It's half what seems to have once been the town hall and has architecture more similar to the rest of the area, and half this clearly like airdropped in specific standard military imperial fortress. You could probably spot likely hangar bays from the outside. Is there anything specific you want to do, or do you want to potentially let Powder heal you before you guys go
I will
running
pause before we charge into the Imperial, the Imperial headquarters.
You
Good.
might want to.
Might want to do that. Okay, so I have my med pack, I have stim packs. Which would be easier at this juncture?
Med packs require rolling. Stim packs don't.
Well then,
So
how many
it's
wounds do you
what
have?
do you feel you can roll?
12 out of 14 total.
Do you have any bonus? Do you have anything that gives bonuses to how much stim packs heal? I think you do. That might be the field medic though.
I don't. Yeah, I heal 3 extra wounds, but I think
So,
that's if I actually do a.
So if you apply a stim pack, that would be if a
8.
stim pack heals like 3 extra wounds, it would be 8, and then the first one would be 8, then the second one would be 7. You have 2 stim packs.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. Do stim packs
They just
cause
require
any strain or?
no. They just require maneuvers to apply.
All right. Well, we're not really in combat order, so Powder, you take the time needed to
Awesome.
start
They-
patching Lux up.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they don't cause any strain. They just reduce in effectiveness as you use them
Right.
until a day has
Cool.
passed.
Cool. So I have 8 of those left. So we're all right. So yeah, I will do 2 stim packs on you to get you back up and running.
Okay.
Um,
So that will heal how?
That heals 8 and then 7.
Sweet. Ah, much better.
and then
Let's go get us a ship and possibly kill us some Imperials.
Yes.
As you're kind of peeking around the corner or to do that, you spot a guy that I don't actually think Lux has met before.
Do I have time to do one more patch on myself?
If you're, it
Are we
takes
taking-
time to do each one, but you have as much time as you feel is appropriate while gunfire is raining down on everyone around you.
That's why I'm asking if we have time for it or
You're
not.
on a timer, but it is your choice.
To do what?
To
I
heal
have
myself
power.
one more time
Oh,
Self as well.
because I still have 4 wounds. But I think
I mean, an emergency repair patch just straight heals 3 wounds on a droid,
right.
and it takes a maneuver to activate.
I mean, I think I'm going to take the time because that'll bring me down to 1 wound, and I'm okay with that. I still have a little bit of strain, but I can deal with the strain. Yeah. Okay.
Repair patches don't heal as much as stim packs, but they don't get weaker as you keep using them, unlike stim packs.
and for the record, no, I haven't met the Emperor before.
I am not that lazy. I'm pretty lazy, but there are easier ways to kill you.
Darth Vader, for instance.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Did you know that there is a specific section within the fear mechanics for if the party encounters Darth Vader, how much they crap their pants?
Yes.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Like he is the top level of things you can be terrified of above Rancors. It's great.
More scared of Vader than a Rancor.
Yeah, that would be a sane person's response.
I mean, not if you're an Imperial officer, apparently.
Yeah, they like to talk back a lot and then get choked out, which is part of why everyone is so afraid of him.
Not if you're an officer, maybe. If you're an officer, you might just not know what you need to be scared of. Anyway,
Your hokey religions have
no,
no place here.
So you spot a guy with sort of wild, choppy, ill-kempt, pretty short hair, or and kind of a sort of cargo vest. He seems to have a small blaster or pistol out, and like from the angle of the facility, he'd probably be sneaking, but you guys are sort of behind him.
Okay.
Powder, you recognize this person as John. You're gonna need to pronounce your antagonist's name again.
Yarick.
Yarick.
Sorry.
It's like Yorick,
Wait,
but with an A.
No, I have met Yar.
Okay. You right. Okay. So you both recognize Yarick. He obviously, his hair has grown out a bit. He's got a bit of stubble. Oh, he looks like he's actually eaten significantly since you last saw him.
Sweet.
But yes, you would both recognize a slightly wild-eyed Yarick angled up against a building with a small blaster pistol.
He doesn't notice us.
Doesn't seem to yet. You stayed a ways off, I assume, to heal.
Yeah. Okay.
From where I'm at, can I get a sense of what his condition might be?
Are you looking like physical health or emotional state?
Yes.
Specific answer. Thank you for the
I
clarification.
mean both, but
both is totally fine.
either is acceptable because either contributes to strain level.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna say that'd be a cool is typically the insight, so I'm gonna make that a cool roll.
And I think I have something that I can do with that because of is it sense? No. Foresee. That's fine. My quill rating is actually fairly good. Difficulty?
Difficulty of 2. He's not particularly great at that kind of deception.
Okay. Two. Boom. Damn it. Skills. There we go. No clue.
It's hard to tell. He might be a bit out of breath, or he might just be consciously controlling his breath as part of sneaking.
Said, can I use 2 advantage to get rid of 2 strain?
Sure.
Yay! I'm all better.
Remaining advantage, you don't think that anyone inside of the barracks has spotted him yet.
Okay.
Well then.
Fuck it. I'm just going to I'm going to try and reach out influence-wise, not to do anything, but just to sort of, hey, look back here.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not specifically listed as an ability, but it seems like something. If
I'll
you
say
can,
that influence ability, make me a leadership role of that
leadership.
kind.
Okay.
you might not directly be pushing out, but you're not trying to do anything particularly strong.
Right.
Whether you use dark side or light side will influence like what sensations he has when he turns around.
I mean, there's a light, so that is a success, 2 successes, and an advantage, and I take 1 string because I'm using.
Have to use the advantage to reduce that strain.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that. So 2 successes.
All right, 2 successes, and I really need to be a little more stringent on that, I'm realizing, but that's fine. At this point, who gives a fuck? High level, whatever.
It's the last game. You can be a little lax. It's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and
I
we're
just
also
sort of-
not playing a
hey.
full heavy campaign where it matters.
Right. And it's pretty much just, hey, there's somebody back here.
Yeah.
That you may
So
want.
Lux, you actually just reach out and, well, this is not quite what happened. You're kind of just like pushing, because Jedi can typically move very small things, even if that's not part of their sort of ways they implement their powers. And you just sort of tickle the hairs on the back of his neck a bit, and you see him sort of stiffen up, and turn around, eyes kind of widening. The gun doesn't go down, but he doesn't seem to immediately consider you a threat. He'll give a wave back and start retreating a bit away from the facility towards where you are.
Okay. Wait until he gets close enough so that we can speak quietly.
Yeah.
Hi. Glad to see you on this planet. I'm your employer.
Well, that fucking figures. Okay.
So you showed up a little later than I hoped. But it's fine. We still have something that we need to do, and what we need to do is up there.
Well, miss, you're not the most.
We are not frontal assaulting a Star Destroyer, don't worry. But we do need to get on that destroyer. Now, you got here. I'm assuming you didn't just materialize, so you have some way of perhaps getting off this planet and getting up there, or since you are already over here, maybe you've seen where we can borrow an Imperial ship.
Well, there's not so much borrow. Yeah, I got a ship.
Okay.
I showed up last night and Customs decided to. This is not a Mandalorian accent. Customs decided that they felt like a towing it.
Did they tow it to the shipyard?
No, I know where it is. It's where I was going to get off this fucking.
That's good. It is good news that it is not in the shipyard.
I gathered.
All right. Well,
and like during this entire conversation, there is still gunfire from the ship going from the Star Destroyer.
Can I see if he's been injured?
Medicine.
Difficulty?
2.
There we go. 3 successes and an advantage.
Not yet.
With 3 successes, he's maybe a little banged up, maybe a little out of breath. He's definitely not in tip-top shape, and but having sort of examined this person medically previously, you're pretty sure that more of what's left in terms of injuries is just the long term of constant abuse for probable years than that right now he has injuries in the mechanical sense, other than maybe some surface level stuff and some surface level strain.
Can I use the advantage to heal strain on him?
Not how that works.
No, I don't remember. It's been so long, I don't remember.
Yeah, so healing strain with advantage is more like you're doing something successfully and you're doing something well, and that calms you down a bit.
Okay.
Which lets you keep pushing.
Yeah, you can't really heal strain.
Yeah, there's things that allow you to heal other people's strain, but it's not. You can't do it with just an advantage.
Okay.
And even then, he only sort of has strain in the mechanical sense because he's an NPC.
Okay, that's fine.
So, and I'm sorry, it's been a very hectic day. What's your name again?
Yarrick.
Yarrick, thank you. Really sorry. So, here's the thing. I realize that that's a little more than you bargained for. If you get me to the just get us to the ship. Once we're on, you can take off and go your own way. I will make sure that your price gets doubled.
I can get you to the ship.
Awesome. Thank you.
If you can get the door open.
The door to the... Which door? Specifically. There are a lot of potential doors in the way. So
he thumbs at a keypad that, now that you think about it, he was probably angling towards.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can get that door open. What's on the other side?
Hangar bay.
How many people do you think are as near as you can guess?
I saw a group of them going in that way, retreating from the main square. So that would be 5 that weren't seriously injured, and then, but they might have stuck around in there. They might be headed deeper into the facilities.
Which, if that's the case, then we don't have to worry about them at all.
5 or less.
I look at the door. Is it just like a standard sort of blast door situation?
Yeah, it's a bit wider than a standard blast door. It's clearly intended so that speeders and other vehicles can exit it.
I'm thinking more thickness-wise.
Oh, yeah, probably standard blast door.
I will try. I will try to slice my way in first.
Okay.
Before slicing your way in?
Before cutting my way in, and anybody who's inside just sees a Zeltron with a lightsaber and a big hole in the door who says, "Run."
Well, yeah, okay. Let's try if you want to try slicing.
We're gonna try the slicing first because that'll be easier.
Yeah.
Before Qui-Goning your way through the door.
Yes, basically. I mean, sort of more like Qui-Gon, except for not Qui-Gon, actually Darth Maul. But
yeah, but Darth Maul never had a door closed on him that he had to get through.
No.
So
computers.
The guys do where they cut a hole in the door.
Yep. Computers, difficulty.
Difficulty 2. I think you can remove setbacks from encryption. Yeah. Okay. Difficulty 2.
All right. And you know what? I'm going to use a light side point on this.
All right.
just because this would be far preferable to 30 minutes later, you have cut through a hole in the door.
Meanwhile, the Star Destroyer is now crashing.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot subtler if you can slice it open. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can just, you sort of grab some of the things from your slicing kit and essentially fake the key card for this door. And we're going to move back to inside of the Star Destroyer, because if it does start crashing, we want that to happen somewhat in a fair space between the two sides of things. All right. Eventually, you get Jez and
138
and her R2 on the other side of the door, or on the other side of the barricade.
And Helix down.
And Helix probably be down, though Helix has mag boots, so he could...
I have mag feet. I could probably just walk down.
Yeah.
Assuming the barrier.
It's going to take long enough that Helix can just walk down.
All right. So, Jez, if you would go ahead and start tinkering, we should head over there. I say, pointing at what is probably the command tower for this hangar bay.
Yep.
You both understand this is a bit of a gamble. I'm good, but I'm only so good.
Acknowledgement. Our entire presence on this Star Destroyer is a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, basically.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And she'll pull out her tools, and I'm going to make those rolls for her privately. She's got a decent chance with each individual one, but there's 10 of them.
Yep.
Meanwhile, let's go say hello.
All right. So, that small red R2 droid that follows Jez around, whose name for the record is 1388-990, just sort of moves up to the door, sort of juts out the little thing, twists a few times, and it cracks open into a hallway.
Is this the door at the base of what looked like the command tower, or is this leaving the hangar bay?
So the command tower is not the. If you've ever been in a conference hall or seen certain episodes of Star Wars, there's like these little one-way glass bubbles. They're not accessible usually from the ground floor.
Okay.
You could try and jet up to it and maybe smash the glass, but this would be a door that goes out into the sort of hallway that people would enter the hangar from.
Look up at the bubble and just sort of cock my head. Do you think it's worth trying to go through the glass, Helix? They certainly wouldn't expect it.
Notation. They definitely already know we're here. They tractor beamed us in.
Absolutely.
So let's see how durable that glass is as I flip my rifle up and just take a shot at the glass.
Sure.
Let's see if it breaks. I'm going up that way. If not, we'll continue onto the hallway.
As I'm assuming this is well within my regular range band, so there's difficulty 2.
Oh, it would depend on what the range band is, because you can shoot to extreme range.
Yeah, but I'm assuming this isn't. I'm assuming
well
this
within extreme.
I'm assuming this isn't super far though.
Long range.
So long range is 3 unless you've got a. Or sorry, long range is 4 unless you got a thing.
All right, 4.
What's the mod? What mods do you have on your gun?
Marksman barrel and multi-optic sight and weapon sling.
Let me double check. The multi-optic sight might be the thing I'm thinking of.
Plus the accurate bonus on the marksman barrel and the innate talent sniper shot.
Accurate gives you a boost die, I believe.
Yes.
As I once again have to struggle with this fucking book to find basic information.
Yeah, 2 weapon quality accurate plus 1 mods, which gives it accurate 2, which means I have 2 boost die. And it has a sniper shot mod, which gives me 1 rank of sniper shot when using it specifically, and I already have a base amount of sniper shot.
In terms of book difficulty, this is like slightly above New World of Darkness because everything is in every major book.
Okay, so telescopic optic sight reduces the difficulty by 1 from long and extreme range, so it would be 3 difficulty for a long range shot.
Okay.
And then you get, and I'm confident. I'm still looking up the weapon characteristics information. There it is.
I believe accurate gives you a boost die for every point of accurate.
Accurate, yes. You get a boost die for each point of accurate.
Yeah.
So,
bam.
So that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 points of damage, and you crit the glass.
I mean, I don't think I need to crit the glass. I'm actually just going to use those 3 to 2 of those to remove my strain.
All right. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure you can crit a pane of glass because crits are things like you lose a limb. So
the pane of glass loses its left arm. What?
Yeah. So we're gonna say that doesn't apply to objects in this instance.
Also, a disruptor rifle, so it just.
But yeah, you see this glass starting to crack, and you can hear over the intercoms, and like from the way it echoes through the hallway, probably through the entire ship's intercom. Our prey have started running. Let's play a game.
Well, that's somebody I'm going to shoot.
Notation. The tone of that person's voice has the situation backwards. They should be running from us.
Absolutely, but still, let them think they're winning. Does it look like that glass will break after another shot, or what?
It looks like it's pretty broken, but not quite wide enough. Another shot would probably widen it enough that you could enter. You'd have to be careful to avoid the sharp glass.
I'm wearing a full suit of Mandalorian armor.
Fair enough.
And I'm made of metal.
Helix, would you like to provide cover fire from down here?
Acknowledgement.
I'm going to jet up towards the glass as Helix hopefully opens it up.
If I need to make that same shot again, I can.
Yeah. Sure. It's fine. We'll say, Ares, you jet up and kind of use the already existing hole to batter the area open. What you see is one of those fairly standard command desks with lots of buttons, and seemingly where TIE fighters would come out from here. People are commanding those TIE fighters. The room itself, give me a vigilance check.
What difficulty?
3.
An advantage.
There's a door on the back wall that again probably leads out into some hallway that connects various parts of this Star Destroyer. You never worked on a Star Destroyer for an extended period, if I remember correctly.
Nope.
Okay. So you can make some basic guesses based on ships are ships and the Empire's the Empire, but you don't know specifically where this would lead in a standard Star Destroyer.
Is there anybody up here?
That's all you notice about the room. You don't see anyone or anything.
Right. Over the comm link, it's clear. Should I just bring our 2 droids straight up here?
Is this?
That's
Query.
just Helix.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Query: do you think that would provide more broad range access?
I mean, it's the command tower for the hangar bay, so I'm not certain how far back into the ship systems it'll reach, but it'll at least have some amount of control over the space we're in now.
Acknowledgement. Then probably best to bring him up there.
I will fly back down, and with Helix providing cover in case something decides to reappear in the bubble, I will fly the. I cannot remember his designation because it's a series of numbers.
Don't
139.
bother R2 droid.
The Artanoid up to the command tower.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call him 3-8.
That's fair.
While Ares is flying down, I will walk up, so we can just basically trade positions for a second.
We're going to shuffle back down so that even-ish screen time.
Mm-hmm. So, remind me, because it's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
Do we still have the capacity for contact with the other side?
You can try. You're theoretically within the range if it's not being jammed, especially of reaching the ship.
Okay.
And you do have, I believe, contact information for Helix's ship right now.
Yeah. Cool. No, I'm not making contact at this particular moment because we are about to enter a hangar that may have enemies, but I just wanted that information because if that's the case, once we get on the ship, I'm going to be passing us a communication on to these two, particularly our Mandalorian, about where he may want to be when we land. But yes, anyways. So, door open.
All right. So yeah, the door slides open, and on the other side you see 4 stormtroopers. Presumably the ones Ares and Helix didn't have time to take down before.
Just off to the side. Vroom. You can run, and I won't chase. Your admiral's dead.
One of them sort of looks over at you and starts leveling his gun. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Fire that, and you won't get the chance to run away.
Wait, their admiral dies a lot?
That's what he said.
Helix, we get to kill the admiral again! There are clones!
Bang.
And again, and again, and again!
You don't think that's what he meant, but
No, they cycle through.
that also is a possibility.
I mean, crazy.
Or
That would have been great, though.
There
No,
is a crazy lady on the intercom in this ship. I'm assuming it's a clone now.
or there is another character. There's another one running around whose name is Aki.
Yes. She's been hunting
Anyways.
Luke for a while.
So yes, if you
Petition for the
fire
next
that,
Star Wars movie. We need it to be about the adventures of Luke.
so yes, if you fire that, you're not gonna get I'm not gonna give you the chance to run away.
All right. You're intentionally not firing first, so I'm going to be firing this gun.
Okay.
As the GM. Do you have anything that increases difficulties?
Lux did not shoot first.
No. Because this was a fight we didn't need to have if we weren't gonna have it.
See, with stormtroopers, you got to kill one of them first and then issue the demands.
They get weaker the less of them there
We
are.
killed lots of them first.
Well, no.
Uh,
Ares and Helix killed lots of them first,
Let's see.
but we're not there right now.
Stormtroopers are kind of like orcs. They're tougher the more than there are in a group.
Yep.
I mean, I get bonus to initiative rolls.
Okay.
But that's the only thing I see. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, you are very purposefully saying don't shoot.
Correct. But I am prepared for the possibility that this stormtrooper is going to be an idiot and is going to shoot.
We can roll initiative now, but he doesn't shoot until his turn, and they don't feel like this is going to last very long.
I mean, if it looks, because I feel like the initial would be like things like him bracing his arm, and then I'm like, okay, he's shooting.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Fair enough. Let's
I
get the
add
turn order.
initiative into my
And initiative.
combat initiative. I'm assuming everybody is probably
See.
prepared.
Yeah, everyone's prepared. So Powder, you should probably roll in as well.
And unfortunately, Lux took the manipulating force lessons more seriously than the parrying blaster bolts lessons. So
So that's actually 2-1, not 1-1.
I'm just going to use NPC 2 to indicate Yarrick.
Okay.
Because he's not fully your ally, given you are planning to hand him over to...
No, but he thinks he is.
For the mechanical purposes of initiative tracking, he is not currently fully your ally.
Fair enough.
Yarrick is going
the 1-1 needs to be modified to a 2-1.
Yeah, the 1-1 should be a 2-1.
Also, well, actually, no. You rolled with difficulty, Jeremy.
Oh shit! I did
So
that.
that's a 2-2 without difficulties, or 3-2, correct?
Yeah, that'd be a 3-2.
Yeah, it's a 3-2.
Ignoring the difficulties, it's a 3-2. All right. So, Lux, you're going first.
I'll take that 3-2.
Is leveling a gun.
All right.
While this is happening, I will be right back.
Yeah.
How far away are they?
They are probably short range away from you at the moment.
Okay. So I will do an enhance. I will do an enhanced force leap to jump at him.
Okay, Winston.
I mean, more this way than this way, but either one.
Yeah. Yeah. So you sort of jump up, landing in front of him.
Yep. Tonk!
That's not the sound a lightsaber makes when it goes through Stormtrooper.
No, that's the sound a head makes when it hits the ground. Combat. Lightsaber. I add an advance, so there's an advantage added to this because automatic advantage successful lightsaber combat checks when engaged with a single opponent. So it's difficulty. I said 2, 1.
Engaged is 2.
2. Okay. And sure, let's go ahead and take away your last. So let's see, upgrade there.
Sure.
Oh,
use the last of our light side when Helix and I are trapped on a Star Destroyer with a bunch of Aki clones.
I did. So that's 2 successes and 4 advantages. So I believe that means I can activate crit.
You can activate crit twice, and that's 7 damage with breach 10. Or breach 1, which is minus 10 armor for a humanoid.
7 damage, takes down one of them, and enters another. And then 2 critical activations.
Sorry, you've only got 3 advantages. That's 1 crit.
4, because I have an automatic extra
Oh,
advantage.
okay. So yeah, then that's 2 crit rolls.
I'm hoping to end this fight before it even starts.
Yep. Roll critical.
That's some shitty critical
I mean,
rolling,
it's
goddamn.
2 more damage on NPCs that have
Yeah.
wounds and strains rolled together. So.
Yeah, so you've taken out half of them.
And I look to the others, and free action. You haven't shot. You aren't going to shoot yet. You can still run. Now, what my allies do might counteract that,
Powder?
but I'm giving them the chance.
Well, does it take a maneuver to take out the gun? Because Powder definitely did not have the gun.
Yeah, it's a maneuver to draw your weapon.
Okay.
So you can maneuver, draw your weapon, and then fire.
I mean, yeah, Powder will draw the weapon.
Does Powder get their first kill?
Somehow I doubt it.
Fire a shot across their nose.
Okay, let's see.
I said across their nose, not up it.
Sorry, sir. I'm doing my best.
Who put
Yup.
this man on gunner? Who put this man on guns?
I did. It's my cousin.
What would the difficulty be?
Difficulty at you're at short range, so that's 1.
Yeah.
And any modifiers.
Okay. Let's see if this does this properly. That would be a threat.
Sorry, Powder.
Why do you have a setback die?
Do I have a setback die?
Yes, there's a black
Yeah.
setback die there.
Yeah.
Why is there a setback die? Hold on, let me see.
There's nothing I can think of, so I.
Oh, because it's in minor condition now. Wasn't that what it was?
No. Lowering the quality of the weapon does not add any setback dice. I don't think.
Yeah.
Do you not have any setback die up in the die pool thing?
No, because I don't use the die pool thing if I don't have to.
Let
use
me
the
double
modifier.
check. It might be a thing we missed. Do.
Let me look at your character sheet real quick, just in case. Was that part of the modification you got to that gun?
No, the only modification on the gun was to make it so it works with my 3-prong fingers. My 3-prong hand.
Do. Weapon maintenance.
The jam dice pool's clear, so that's not causing it.
Weapon pairs. No. Being damaged does nothing, as far as I can tell, to reduce to adding setback dice to the roll.
I don't have anything. I put in modifiers 1 difficulty, and that's all that's in modifiers. So I don't know why.
Let me continue looking for information that might explain why that had a thing.
Well, if we want to just use that and just take out the setback die from the roll until we figure it out, that would get me a success.
Sure. I'll say that's okay in this case. Typically, I try and be very always re-roll it because then it's always fair.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, but like if we can't figure out why it's messed up.
Just in case, set the condition back to new and try again, just in case that is somehow interfering.
Yes. Minor repair required. Minor does impose a setback die on use penalty.
Well, there you go then.
Never mind. Then.
I'm looking at the cheat sheet.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that setback die actually does need to be there because there was a misfire with that gun, I believe.
Yeah. And we haven't had a moment for me to get Helix to fix it. So
Yep.
Okay. Then.
Okay, then there you go. A threat.
Yeah, that gun is. You can feel that it's still a bit shaky, and the shot just goes a bit wide.
You know, that would be a lovely thing for the book to have listed anywhere.
I don't know where it is in the book. I found that on the cheat sheet.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, I believe it.
So Powder will take out the gun and just shoot, and then just immediately deadpan at that person. That was the last warning shot.
Yes.
All right. And Yarrick, who's actually a trained soldier, is going to make his roll.
Yarrick's like, that was your last roaring shot. This is the real one.
Injuring but not downing that guard because, well, he is a Mandalorian. He's also kind of a lame fighter. That makes it their turn. Do you know that 2 stormtroopers are so much less threatening than 4?
Almost half as threatening.
I think it's even less than that because they just have
Probably is, yeah.
Yeah.
And no, baddies are exponentially either more powerful or less powerful depending on their numbers.
It is the opposite of the inverse ninja rule.
Yes.
I do like, as much as we're going to all acknowledge this system has problems, I like the concept of minions a lot.
No, there's a lot of really good stuff.
It does a lot. It does a lot of things. It does a lot of things well. It also does a lot of things poorly.
Okay, so Lux, he does hit you.
Okay.
If he's in engaged range with Lux, it's 2 difficulty to shoot.
Correction. Let me re-roll that.
Cool.
And worse.
Nope, still hit.
Yeah, that's still gonna hit. He'll
I'm guessing it is not on stun.
no.
That's fine. I can take 9 wounds.
Well, you absorb some of it because you do have some.
Oh, that's right.
soak.
I can take 7 wounds.
Yeah. Yes, always remember your armor. That's why they're not all dead, because I remembered armor's a thing.
Good thing I healed you.
Yeah. And you take a pretty hefty shot to the chest, and the guy looks quite pleased with himself.
Really?
You should not have done that.
Yeah, that's what happens when you break in. People shoot. Stand your ground. Your turn.
Did he just quote "stand your ground" laws in a Star Wars game?
Oh, you're telling me the Hutts don't have stand your ground law as standard?
Except the
and they are somehow even more problematic than they are in Florida. My turn?
I was like, can Powder just be like, you should not have done that.
Just
Goodbye.
look down, look up, do that. The look down, look up.
So I found the rules in the book where it says what weapon maintenance does. It does indeed add a setback die. But unlike everywhere else in the book, where when it references a setback die, it shows the black square, it just says 1 additional setback die written out in a table where right next to it, it has the purple die for the difficulty instead of the word difficulty. Book designers, fuck you!
I mean...
I feel like that was a copy editor issue.
It's on page 159. It's a table at the top of page 159.
Okay. So Lux is looking down.
Look down, look up.
Look.
Like, really?
Okay, roll for it.
You
know what? For the lulls, here, have a dark side point.
Okay. Fine.
God, combat takes forever.
It takes forever when you don't have a Mandalorian who auto fires.
So there's 6 and 1 crit.
We'll see what that crit does to.
With breach 10, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
They have armor. Not against the lightsaber, but they have armor.
But they have armor against Eric shots, which helps them. So you just sort of look down, look up, swipe like from one guy's shoulder down, cutting sort of diagonal through both of them, bisecting one so that he falls over.
Okay.
There are 4 dead stormtroopers now.
Idiots. All right, let's go get us a ship.
As we walk past, Powder will just look down at the body and go, I tried to warn you. Keep walking.
All right. And we are going to head back up to the Star Destroyer, where Ares, you are heading up, I believe, with R2 droid in tow.
Yep.
You sort of finagle through the same glass shard hole as previously,
And
setting down in the room.
right, so see what you can get access to in here. And I'll help Helix get through the glass since mag boots don't work on glass.
I mean, at that point, I just have to use my hands because it's an open ledge. Just.
Yeah. Helix, as you come in, why don't you give me a vigilance roll?
Nick one of you accidentally nick one of your like oil pipes. Start leaking oil.
What does that mean?
I'm-
Broken glass is dangerous.
Difficulty?
Know how to deal with it. Difficulty of 3.
I have a failure, but a whole lot of advantages.
There's a door on the far wall.
Why'd you have 2 boost die?
Oh, sorry, the boost die should not have been there.
Oh, reroll.
Derp, derp, derp. Now I have 5 successes.
See, this is why I always say reroll. With a critical success, you several like landmines disguised into the floor of this room. They look like they've been set up quite recently. There's one in front of the door and sort of keypad area. There's one behind one of the desks where one might be standing if they were to root through a desk. There's another one just randomly in part of the walkway.
Warning. There have been several landmines deployed for potential stumbling upon of anyone breaking into this room, and I will point them out.
That seems stupid.
Query. Where would someone go immediately upon entering this place?
I
to the
mean-
flight tower, and then immediately attempt to, if they did not explode in the one in the doorway, attempt to search the desk for relevant files.
Yes, but then if they do explode, you've still blown up the command tower of your hangar bay.
They're probably not that big of landmines, Helix.
Notation. These landmines would likely only kill a humanoid. And scorched earth tactics do seem to be Aki's oeuvre.
I reiterate, that seems stupid. Alright, navigate around them.
Your archroid sort of goes up, having been warned, knowing where it is, goes up to the door and keypad and kind of looks, tries to reach across.
I will pick up the R2 droid and hold him out over the landmine so that he's not on it.
Sure, that'll work.
Here, trash can.
Boom, boom, boom. I have arms. That's what they're for.
The door slides open.
I will then hold the R2 droid out towards the operation consoles so that they can see what they can get access to in the hangar. This just seems like a really Am I operating as the droid's Omni tool, or is the droid operating as my Omni tool?
Helix, being the one among the two of you that speaks binary, your R2 droid finds light control, can't get access to the release for the sort of thing that holds the starfighters in place. It doesn't seem like the barricades are automated, or at least that they're controlled from here. General schematics for the ship, which will be described to you as you can see this on your screens. I believe you are on the correct map. Yeah. General schematic for the ship. Some inventory information, and some intercom access.
Okay. Sorry, I was just reading something about relevant information. Run that by me again.
So you've got the schematics, you've got some intercom access, you can turn the lights on or off in the hangar bay. You have some basic control. You can't, he wasn't able to get the more secure stuff, like unleashing the TIE fighters obviously have the little docking locks. He can't undo those. And it doesn't seem like the barricade between your ship and the other ships is from here.
Okay. So, notation. We have basic room access, but the higher end functions appear to be locked out of this terminal.
All right, so do we get schematics?
Were there possible layouts of the ship?
So described and or sent to you as relevant to your capabilities, the schematics that you see there, which are fairly general.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna want to head to the engine core.
Based on this schematic, where would be appropriate control tower that would have access to ion shielding for the hangar bay?
Probably system control.
Okay, and we are at hangar bay.
We can also completely cripple the ship by going through the engine core, which would mean we could kill the shields, tractor beams, offensive capabilities, maneuverability.
This is very light schematics. I'm assuming it doesn't have troop deployments or guard numbers included.
No, this is pretty basic. Like, it doesn't even have all the hallways mapped out. It's just your general guide to the area.
Caveat: the engine core is likely one of the more guarded locations on this ship.
Oh, absolutely.
Query: how do you feel about using their landmines against them?
I mean, that sounds like fun, yes.
Request 38. Can you disarm the landmines in this room and pick them up for later use?
That's right.
I will
Essentially, we'll see.
I will set the droid down.
Oh, that is not gonna be easy. Yeah. As those landmines are being dismantled,
We're stalling as much as we can for Lux and Powder to get up here.
We're working on it.
Felix, do you have anything that makes it harder to hit you than like standard distance stuff?
Let me check that real quick.
There's some abilities or shields that.
Defense would be the key.
Yeah.
Just my custom armor plating, which gives me an extra defense.
Okay. So one defense.
Is extra ranged or melee defense?
Both.
Okay.
All right.
So one setback die.
One setback. And short range is 1. Oh, he's not doing too shabby. Okay. So, as those traps are being dismined, both of you hear that sort of signature discharge of a laser weapon. As a bolt of energy shoots out at Helix for 3 successes and no advantages. So that's going to be 7 damage minus whatever you soak of that.
So I soak 2 of that, so 5 strain.
Yeah. 5 damage, not strain.
Wound.
Oh, is it wounds? Okay.
Sorry. This is not a stun weapon.
Do we see where that came from?
Yeah, there seems to be a individual in what looks to be essentially fighter pilot armor or standing in the doorway. It seems to have been able to sneak up on you.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, I must say, I'm grabbing Helix by the shoulders, swapping positions, and unloading my blaster rifle.
All right, let's roll some initiative. Yeah, dead, but we need to know which of you kills him first.
Vigilance for unexpected for us.
Neither of you expected this.
William, you had
Oh,
difficulty.
I had difficulty rolls in there. Stop that. Do that again.
I got a 1-4. You also got a 1-4. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 0-1, so you guys both go first.
So,
Whoever wants to take that first slot.
I use my true aim maneuver and fire.
Okay.
I'm at short range. I'm going to voluntarily upgrade my difficulty to activate auto fire. I get a boost die and an upgrade. And I use that triumph to activate auto fire again. This person takes 33 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
And over the intercoms to the entire city here, and Moth is out of the running. There's still 4 targets left for anyone who wants to play.
Over, Felix, did you say we have intercom access?
Acknowledgement. Yes, we
Would you
do.
please-
As I slap as I activate one of the emergency repair patches.
Would you please pop me in?
I will see if I can slice Ares into the comm network.
Okay. Computer's difficulty 2 with the boost die because you already have
We've
some
got access. Yeah.
pre-existing access.
It's a wash.
Doesn't seem like you can get it at this time. Sorry.
Yeah. Consolation. Unfortunately not at the moment, but there's nothing stopping you from just going to the console.
I reach over to the console and I hit the broadcast button.
Mm-hmm.
Nishabrudni nervod. and I unclick it.
What's that one mean, John?
It's effectively translated into Galactic Basic. It means "Don't mess with me, my friend." But it's said in such a way in Mandalorian as to basically mean you are going to die. It's simply a matter of when.
Okay. All right. Now for the group that's hoping to get up there.
Yep. We're standing amongst the wreckage of humanity that was once for stormtroopers who decided to be dumb.
You don't understand the concept of stormtroopers very well, do you? Sorry.
I mean, there are stormtroopers that many stormtroopers are inherently
many stormtroopers
bred to be loyal to the point of not giving a shit about their own lives. That said, the Empire is getting short on clones after a certain period of time between or after,
No, they were actually better at self-preservation. But moving on.
Yeah.
I do want to add one small notation that after Ares says that, Helix walks over and presses the comm button and just goes, "Statement," and then a series of growling noises comes out as he says something in Shiriwook.
Yes. So about this, Lux, your comlink, actually Lux and Powder, your comlinks both sort of fizz to life. Hello, testing. Anyone there? You recognize Jez, or at least Lux does.
Jez!
Hey, boss's boss. What's shaking?
We are coming to you.
That's the plan, Kay.
We're hitching a ride. Please inform the boarding party that Yarrick is giving us a ride up, and we will be there and are at our earliest convenience, and we will transmit coordinates when we are sure exactly where we're going to board.
All right, have fun. We're in the middle of a murder game, I think.
Sweet. Have fun with that.
Sure. Yeah. The engineer always famously survives the murder game.
I mean, are you in the murder game?
Maybe.
Are you in need of healing?
Not yet, though. If I fuck this up, I might be.
I mean, I'm assuming this is Aki Taurus's murder game, so you're probably in it whether you realize whether it looks like it or not. So I would just stay alert.
Yeah. Red wire, blue wire, red wire, blue wire. Okay.
All right.
They really should make these easier to explode. But yeah.
You sound busy. I don't want to distract you. So yeah, we just pass along that message.
All right. And sort of
Click
still
off.
back on the ground because these things. That's slightly.
Eric, where are we? Is his ship? Are we in the hangar where his ship is obvious where it is?
None of the ships look particularly obviously other than the ships that are here. Yarick is sort of poking around and
Wait. Is there an Imperial ship that is sized for a crew of 3?
There's a few shuttles around that Yarick is currently looking at.
We're taking that one. I know how to fly that one.
All right. Sounds like you don't need me anymore. Have a
No.
tail, make
No. I do need you. I know how to fly that one, which requires a co-pilot. I'm assuming that most of the shuttles still require co-pilots.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that character.
almost certainly.
Yeah.
You could probably coach Powder through it. They're not.
I love
hard.
Powder, but Powder is not a co-pilot.
The last time Powder piloted a ship, it broke.
Powder has broken so many ships.
I am not allowed to fly.
No, I specifically told them that they don't get to fly anymore.
Lux, I want you to make me a deception check. Not because that's not true, but because you are actively distracting from your plan.
Okay. I'm throwing force-based influence in this.
Boost die because Powder's helping.
Influence.
I need to make a Helix playlist at some point, even though this is the last session for Helix.
I was gonna say you're a little late on that.
I mean, I have an Ares playlist.
I was
I
just
love
thinking that I need to make a Lulu playlist this week.
Huh.
More
I'm-
playlists for everybody.
So that would be 2 successes and 2 advantages.
All right. He gives you a bit of a side eye.
I mean, if you don't want the double pay, that's fine.
All right, but
How hefty is his greed?
Remember, you just have to get us onto the ship so we can board.
It's quite
That's it.
okay.
With Powder, we will collide into the side of the Star Destroyer.
All right.
Let's go.
So, the hangar bay that you guys are in, the one on the ground, has an opening roof that can be pretty easily. You can find a thing that allows you to remotely operate it within the ship. I'm just going to shortcut and say that you slice in some keys, get the hangar bay open, and are you piloting or co-piloting?
You know what? I will let Yarrick pilot. I will co-pilot.
Then he will make that check, and he does fine.
I will ask him so I can coordinate with my team on the ship. Exactly where are we coming in?
Well, that is up to you and up to them not shooting us, because
Right. You obviously.
and he's like, wow, I go now. And he'll grab one of the helmets that has a little bit less blood spurting out of it that he probably salvaged on the ground. Hello, testing. Trooper reporting in. Shuttle, and he gets the number right. Looking for permission to dock. After a moment of silence, comes across. Hey, Beans. Okay, you need dock. All right. We've kind of got a murder fiasco. We're kind of playing in the hangar bay right now, but I'll send you to. How okay with gunfire is your current cargo? Nothing. An explosive. We're good to drop into the middle of a combat zone. Okay. Well. Hey, Bishop. Beans is entering the competition too. All right. See you soon. Try to die or, kill them, whichever. And you get permission coordinates for a hangar bay that is presumably either the one or fairly near where Ares and Helix are, given the context. But you get specific coordinates.
Sweet. I am sending those on data-wise. Just
Yeah.
I'm space text messaging these. With an addendum. Make sure Ares knows Yarrick is going to be here.
All right.
Because I want that thing to open, and I want blasts to come in, annihilate Yarrick, and then my job is done.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say about at this point, back on the ship, Ares and Helix, you get a buzz as Jez lights up your comms. Boss?
Acknowledgement. Yes.
So our current employer wants me to pass along that she is headed up here. Doesn't want to distract me for too much, but wants Ares to know that there's some guy named Yarrick is going to be coming with her up to the ship, and she'll rattle off the coordinates.
I feel like even though Helix is a droid, he can probably feel the sudden spike in temperature in the room.
I mean, I can feel it better because I have temperature readouts.
Helix can tell you exactly how much that temperature spiked by.
See, Ares, and you say I never get you anything.
Acknowledgement. Well, it seems like this game just got more interesting.
Where are they landing?
Readout. Looks like I'm going to assume one of the hangar bays adjacent to this
probably
one.
the hangar bay across the hall or the one next down. Going there, you'd be able to tell pretty precisely.
We have a destination in mind.
Query 3-8. How is the operation going on those landmines?
2 down. I'm going slow at it. In binary, but
Acknowledgement. Take your time.
I'm going to, stepping around any landmines, start heading towards that hangar bay.
all right. So
I will retrieve the landmines that he's already disabled.
Yeah. All right. You've got 2 landmines. They do strain damage.
Stun mines. Okay.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, stun mines.
They're the Star Wars things where when you step on them, like electricity.
Yeah, they shock you.
Yeah.
Shock mines.
Yeah. So Ares is stepping out into the hallway. You're on the sort of upper level, so you could either try and start finding a pair of stairs to head down, or you could head to the upper observatory bubble for the hangar bay that you...
We're going for that observatory bubble.
Okay. Yeah.
Notation. There's probably landmines immediately on the opposite side of this door as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
We're going to be careful.
Yeah.
And I'm keeping an eye out for
landmines.
Not just for landmines, but also for other Imperials deciding they wanted to come and join the game.
Me too.
Vigilance check, difficulty 2 for if you're looking around.
I have a thing for vigilance checks, I believe. Let me check.
1 success, 1 advantage.
No, it's a skill perception mod. Okay. And talents. No, that's stealth checks. Okay, never mind. Okay. Skills. 5 successes and an advantage.
The hallway is almost eerily quiet. As Aries, you slide open the door to that other hangar. Neither of you spot any landmines within this room. Similar layout to the other one. There's a console and some unbroken, in this case, glass that is essentially acts as a one-way mirror. You can see out, though they probably can't see in.
Is there anybody on the ground of the hangar?
Not currently. This one also doesn't have any TIE fighters. There's just a few two sort of moderately sized shuttles, the kinds that tend to be used for transit. They've got little whole.
Is there a clear, empty parking space for when a new shuttle would be coming in?
Yeah, and there's also clearly a door that will probably open.
Yeah. I'm just looking for where the shuttle would land.
Yeah, you've got a pretty good idea where the shuttle would park.
Okay. Helix, I'm about to make a shortcut. And I'm going to go stand. I'm basically going to jump, shoot at the glass, and intending to both break it with the gun and smash through it on my way down.
Okay.
I'm going to Ender's Game the glass.
Yeah, sure. You know what? We're going to shortcut the gunnery check on this because I'm really sick of you guys saying, oh, I do 20 damage to glass. Well, it's nothing. Yeah.
And use my jets to land on the ground without injuring myself. And
there is a very obvious hole now.
That's absolutely fine. And so I'm looking for if there's any tarps or anything that I could use to help, because my armor is fairly recognizable even from a distance.
Yeah, there's tarps, large crates. You could also use the other shuttles for cover if you'd prefer.
Yeah, I'm basically looking to get some cover that will put me in a position where I will be able to jet towards the shuttle when it lands and opens up its cargo hold, but won't be immediately visible as it's coming in.
You don't want to be visible while you're jetting, or
no. While I'm jetting, that's fine because the cargo door will be open.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, yeah, you can use some of the essentially moving equipment and random supplies that people need to take out.
My objective is when the shuttle lands and the cargo door opens to let Lux out, I am going to jet in up to the driver's seat and just unload.
I'll say you're good. It's not super great disguise. If someone was actively searching this room, they'd find you.
Yeah.
But from inside of a ship, you're good.
Yeah.
Worth noting that through the hole in the observation window, Helix is in the hall, keeping an eye out for any Imperial soldiers that show up. Because in the hall, he can theoretically keep an eye on this room and also the room where 3-8 is working on the last landmine.
So you hear a smash of glass, and you're like, "Yeah, that sounds like Ares."
Yep.
Okay. So, after a few very tense moments of waiting, a hangar door slides open. Lux, your ship sort of goes in, lands itself.
Sweet.
Zara sort of looks at you,
All right.
looks at Powder. Seems to consider something.
Lux is in the process of getting up as if she's getting ready to depart the ship.
Yeah. Well, it seems our business is concluded.
It seems so. I will make sure information gets back to you're going to get what I promised. Ready? Powder?
He sort of turns around at the counter. Should warn you, if I don't see my pay, He looks directly at Powder. You're not likely to ever know what you want so desperately to find.
I will keep that in mind.
Ares, the ship has landed.
Waiting for the ramp to drop.
At this point, this is between two other PCs to see what happens. Lux has put moved all of the pawns into the right spot. She is walking away from this situation. Whatever happens, happens.
All right. Is it fair to say she's walking down the ramp away from the situation?
I mean, that's fair to say.
Has Lux opened the ramp?
The ramp would be open. I would assume that the ramp would have been open.
Yeah. Ramp opens.
Well,
There's a Mandalorian rocket coming into the ship.
Lux, you have to kind of duck out of the way because this is not a particularly wide space.
I intend to use Yarick as my stopping brake.
I mean, as long as it doesn't blow up the ship and us.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to jump off the ramp at that point.
Fuck!
If you blew Powder up, we are going to have words.
Did Powder jump in front of the Mandalorian rocket?
Powder.
Powder had not moved.
Okay.
Okay. So Powder watches as I go past.
You know, do you have an unarmed attack that you can make?
Absolutely.
Why don't you make one of those for rocketing yourself into someone?
We'll say it's with the vibro knife, because I do have the vibro knife on.
Vibro knife will also work.
CQC!
Can I take a strain to aim as I'm flying?
I'm gonna say that
If the flying is the maneuver.
not.
I will
Why
true.
not at this point?
I will true aim as I fly.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's going to be
Your brawn +1 plus 2 more,
5,
plus your
6,
advantages.
7 plus whatever I get for rocket powering my way in there. With Pierce 2 and Vicious 1, which means it adds 10 to the critical that I am making him roll.
Okay. Because the art's character sheet is not in Roll20, I'm just gonna need to find a random.
I mean, I truly do not believe that Yarick is the only person who knows whatever information he's teasing. So,
And at this point, the information is no longer in Powder's, brain. So
All right. So yeah, you slam into him a lot. He's kind of coughing up blood and definitely off balance.
If I have another thing, I am just unloading the blaster rifle as I
at
say.
this point, heard coming from the ramp is, oh, wait, who's this person that I don't know and didn't tell we were coming? Oh dear, please, no, don't kill my good friend Yarick.
Mando adra digu. As I just unload.
You're fucking gun if Powder's not interfering.
I am engaged, so that is 2 difficulty.
Yeah.
True aim. Fire.
Is Powder interfering?
no, Powder is not interfering.
So I'm going to use that 2 advantage and triumph to activate auto fire twice. He takes 30 damage.
Right.
For fuck's sake.
So, as we have sort of established, yeah, he's dead.
I walk out of the shuttle covered in Yarick's blood. smoking gun and knife.
Put
Have
out
you
fist. We cool?
Mando Carla. And I fist bump Lux.
Awesome.
Have you been injured?
Nope.
Over the comm link. Greeting. Oh, sorry. I seem to have been stuck in Shiriwook for a second. Welcome to the ship.
Thank you. It's a nice ship.
Look at Powder.
I
Like,
was like, I'm sure somebody knows, and we'll keep looking. I'm about half certain he was full of shit, but somebody probably knows, and we will eventually find the answer.
oh, wait. I have one.
Sometime
one-
after this particular moment and
Lux,
incident,
I do need you to
we're
do one
perhaps
favor.
not being chronicled on internet.
Fine.
Lux,
Yes,
Lux,
the meta
Lux,
joke is taken.
Lux,
Yes.
I do need you to do one favor for me, though.
What's that?
I go back, I pull out a data pad, I take a picture of the annihilated corpse.
Oh,
And
where am I sending this?
if you could send this to, what was Spencer's character's name?
Siolo?
Yeah. If you could send this to Siolo.
Lux, you probably don't want to do that from an Imperial ship just in case if you don't want
Not right now. Not right now. Later.
But you definitely know where to do that.
And if you
Two
could,
things.
and if you could add on just a little bit of text, Mandoa Dra Degu. I'd appreciate
I
it.
mean, two things. One, you're a horrible human being, but that's okay. I still kind of like you. Two, not here, but I will, and it will be coming from you. I am not going to be digitally attached to any of this.
That's absolutely fine.
That's one of my allies.
That's absolutely fine. I just want to make sure that it gets to him.
You know, you pretty much live, you pretty much just sustain yourself, like physically from a health standpoint, on spite, don't you?
It's certainly at least 50% of my diet, yes.
I can appreciate that.
Warning. I don't think our friends on the ship are going to sit still and try and sneak around for too long.
Right, so, engine room. I want to blow up a Star Destroyer.
Is there any way we can possibly move it away from being directly over the city of people we were trying to save?
Is there a way that we can spark the engine so that it sends itself into a full-powered ion drive into a star? From the engine room?
Probably.
Engine room it is. Start heading towards the engine room.
So you guys presumably go meet up with Helix on the upper level?
Yes. I will fly Powder and Lux up to where Helix is. Still covered in Yarrick.
I mean, Lux is probably covered in a fair amount of blood too. Lightsabers are not terribly clean.
Dude, there have been, I mean, it's sort of a self-cauterizing wound.
I mean, yeah, they do cauterize on the way through.
Yeah, it cauterizes things that aren't organs.
I mean, the main concern is more that I was shot and stabbed a lot,
Yeah, there's that.
so I am bleeding a lot. Aki's death was not what we would call a clean kill.
I noticed. We were there.
I healed you.
Yes, but you didn't swab me down.
Or repair her clothes.
Very true.
Helix is sort of in the hallway in a firing stance, just occasionally switching angles to check both sides of the hallway, and just kind of acknowledgement. Yes, it was definitely not the cleanest of kills. You could have hired me.
I mean, I figured you would be having a lot more fun up here. That said, on that point, shall we finish this?
Yes, please.
Notation, it would likely be easier for us to survive this encounter if we were able to remotely detonate things, which is why I had Jez working on the ion engines of those TIE fighters.
True.
If we can find the ion shielding for the hangar bay and disable it, that should be more than enough to permanently hinder this Star Destroyer from doing anything of note.
That's true. But we could also set up multiple explosions across the ship.
Query, do you know how to rig an engine to set up to fire off while you're not there?
I can wing it.
You could always just have me try and fly the ship.
If we really wanted to destroy it, yeah. First, well, that's at the very least the ion generators should be in the engine room as well. So we can remove all of their shielding.
Statement. I don't wing things.
Fair enough.
I act with precision and pre-planning.
As you guys continue down this hallway, he likes it. Maintaining your vigilance check from earlier, you definitely hear some footsteps, and it seems like there's maybe 2 or more sets of footsteps up ahead.
The gun is immediately trained on where those would lead, just so that when they appear, it's just a reflex to.
All right. So
Raise my gun.
one more initiative before we get to the engine room.
Is this a cool roll or a vigilance roll?
I mean, I assume Helix's presence would have warned you, so probably prepared in this case.
I'm hilariously faster when I'm unprepared.
As am I.
It happens.
But I do have 2-2.
0-3.
Wow.
Connor got 4-0.
Alrighty then. Good. That means one of you is going first.
Well, I mean, all of the players can choose which person they want to go first.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
That's a 6, isn't it?
6-3, yeah.
Yep, I have to take a strain. I have to take a couple strain, but 6-3.
Okay.
Yeah, that 4-3 needs to change to a 6-3.
Actually, no. You know what? I'm leaving it at 4-3 and not taking the strain.
Is it a force? Is it a force power?
It is.
Is it an active force power? Red versus blue.
The strain is because Lux is a dark side user.
Yeah, you only take strain if you're on, I believe, only for active force powers when you're actively purging it. No?
Take strain if you're using the other side.
Yeah.
So if you can't take strain, you can't use the other side.
There you go. Okay.
And yeah.
So in that case, it wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to take the strain anyway. So
I am not going. I will not take the strain because it doesn't make us any. It doesn't move us anywhere on the.
Yeah, we're already top of the pops. So
You're already all up before that. Who wants to take that first spot? You can't see them yet.
I will let one of the murder bots.
Yeah, so I mean, I was already at the front.
I'll let Halo take the first shot.
Probably Helix. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I can round the corner and down one of them, I would like to do that.
Sure. Rounding the corner would put you in short range.
So that'll be
One
difficulty. Okay. Plus my 2 boost die for accurate. This man is very dead. Does he have any defense to increase to add setback dice if I need it?
No defense, but does have the adversary trait. So that's one upgrade.
One upgrade. And we'll make that a critical hit as well.
15 damage. 14 damage and a crit.
14 damage and a crit with vicious 5, so add 50 to that.
Okay.
50 to the crit roll, not 50 to the damage.
So yeah, the guy that you were going for, who probably would just be the person in front, that makes the most sense. Is wearing most of a stormtrooper's armor, no helmet, and this sort of side mohawk Weequay individual just isn't there anymore. Something he was holding Klados to the ground.
Are there more targets?
Is definitely Helix can now see 2 more targets. One more in the sort of direction he turned, one and in the opposite direction. T intersection.
Mm-hmm.
I am so sorry. The damage on my disruptor rifle is wrong. That should be 15 damage because it's when I take only a single shot in a round, I add my agility to the damage, and the base damage of the disruptor rifle is 10, not 9.
All right.
So
Works for me.
I will change that for future shots.
Equally dead. So I'll step out into the intersection where I can see nice and everybody. I'm going to voluntarily up. I'm going to take a strain in addition to take a secondary maneuver to true aim. Then I'm going to up my difficulty from 1 to 2 to activate my auto fire quality, aiming at 1 at both individuals. 1 shot at both individuals. And do I need to upgrade this for adversary or?
This one does not. So there's one person in the direction of Helix, one person in the opposite direction. Are you going back to back with Helix or same direction?
I'm aiming at both. I'm basically with auto fire.
Okay.
Oh no, okay, it should be 14.
One of them has adversary, one of them doesn't.
So it'll upgrade then.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because it has to hit both. Like if the same attack has to hit both. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna say just upgrade it and yeah.
When you're splitting your fire, whether you're firing 2 guns at once or whether you're shooting at 2 targets, you take the lowest skill and the highest difficulty between the 2.
Right. Thanks.
Blam. All right, I'm going to use that to activate auto fire again on the nemesis. So the guy who's not a nemesis takes 12 damage. The guy who is a nemesis takes 24 damage.
All right.
It's worth noting that it would actually be just an extra hit, which means it also applies armor twice.
Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Unfortunately, they're both okay. Not gonna bother with the NPC descriptions. Yeah.
Mercenary soldiers are designed to kill things with guns.
Yep.
Bounty hunter assassins are designed to do single target damage in the extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no more enemies that you guys can see at this point.
All right, continuing on.
And you hear crackling over the intercom. Ja, Echo, Ulho, present, and Rubik's are all down. Who else wants to play with them? There's 6 now. 7 now. There's 6 now.
Sort of in my head. Hey, let's try one check on Jess.
Acknowledgement. She has a shotgun, but it's a good idea to check up. It's all over the intercom. Query, Jez, how is your status going?
I'm fine so far. Nope's come in here yet, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm getting these things, but
She's being included in the count.
Yeah. Acknowledgement. I suspect that most soldiers would go for the larger group, but you are still included in the threat count that is going over the ship. So keep shotgun at the ready.
Yeah, I heard you killed someone named Jackal or something.
Acknowledgement. Yes, the coyote is far superior to the jackal.
Right. Well, all right.
All right, so we need to actually confirm which direction we're heading in now. Engine room, or do we want to go to the command bridge? I say looking at the other three.
Suggestion. We'll probably have an easier time getting control over things from the command bridge.
Though I would imagine it's
Process
probably the
control.
most defended spot on the ship.
It's the most defended, and I'm gonna be frank. I don't think we don't have the people to deal with that aspect of it. We don't have the numbers.
Like, I can kill a lot of people, but there's a lot of people on this ship.
I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking about taking out the number of people. I'm talking about the number of people we would be required to be able to do anything regarding the motion or propulsion or lack thereof of this ship.
Actually, yeah, Lux, you're the one with the most experience with Imperial starships. Can we disable the tractor beams from the engine room? Or from the engine core?
I would assume so.
Probably, if you can do the disabling part.
I mean, when we get there, I will find the parts of the engine room that power the tractor beams, and boom, I will put this through them.
Engine room it is.
Query, could that not cause a catastrophic short circuit and cause the tractor beams to explode?
I mean, that still disables them.
It could.
Notation, the tractor beam generators are near our escape vessel because that is where it was pulled to.
It seems unlikely that it would blow up the tractor, the tractor beam facilitators. I'm not sure what.
Emitters.
I'm sure Lux knows what the term is,
The
but
emitters.
yeah, the odds that it would blow up the emitters are, at their core, it's still something where it's power being
More likely to
emitted
blow you guys up than
Yeah.
it is to blow the emitters up.
and it's not a huge chance of that either, I would imagine. I mean, not a zero
Statement.
chance.
Lightsaber lobotomy is not an exact science.
No, it's not. Well, let's figure it out when we get there.
Either way, I think that's probably our best bet.
Yeah,
Because
we are
as
heading
good
to
as we are, it's like a couple thousand people to pilot this thing, which means there's a lot of people in that command center.
and we can't go unlike well, as we have just learned, we can't just kill the person in charge and then everybody else is like, you are our new leader, or even, oh shit, we need to do what they say, because as I always hope for otherwise, but yeah, Imperials are dumb.
Also, it seems like the person over the intercom is just as crazy as Aki was, so
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. Maybe a sister?
Well, she's gonna die. Oh, or it's some AI that's been programmed like Aki.
That's possible.
Either way, I think blowing up the ship will deal with it.
Deal with the engine. Dealing with the engines tends to deal with the ship.
You are aware that Aki has a reputation for just hiring all of the misfits that the Empire didn't want?
That's true. Also, it could just be a crazy because it wasn't literally like Aki's voice.
No.
Yeah.
Distinctly different voice.
It's some other psychopath.
Can Lux try to hack into the ship?
From the hallway.
from wherever a terminal we may find on the way.
What am I hacking? What am I slicing into for why?
To see if we can find out anything about the ship before we get to where we're going.
I mean, we've got schematics.
Statements. They are basic schematics.
Let's just, once we take control of the engine room, we'll have all the information we need.
I'm assuming there is some sort of camera system.
I mean, they know we're here, yeah.
Aren't Star Destroyers like a kilometer long?
Yep. Yeah, they're huge. There can be literally 1 million people here on a more heavily staffed one.
Query, perhaps we should find the turbo lift system.
I am already in the process of walking to the engine room.
Okay.
Because otherwise,
If
3
we-
episodes from now,
If
we'll
we
be
see
dead
the
below.
if we see the turbo lifts on the way, we will get on them. Otherwise, let's go.
Okay. Going to be heading there. Got it.
Let me know if I need to shoot any more Imperials on the way.
Yeah, we are prepared to shoot more Imperials as they
You
arrive.
do pass a few terminals if you want to try and access the powder.
I don't. If there's like a computer terminal, like that, I could quickly try, because I just basically want to see if I can like access the cameras to see if I can see into the room that we're trying to go to see how many people are there.
All right, there's terminals in the hallway. If you'd like, you can stop at one pretty quickly and make me a computers difficulty of 3 with 2 setback die.
3.
And why the hell not? Dark side points. Because your guys are gonna need them pretty soon.
Okay, so that's setback. 3-peat would be okay, and 1 upgrade on the right side. All right. Well,
Triumph and despair.
advantage, triumph, and despair.
All right. So you do get access to the exact camera feed that you're looking for pretty much immediately. It's not intentional. You just figure it out quite quickly. Even in this case, generally speaking, the Empire lays things out in pretty simple to understand ways. So yeah, you sort of slide in some access codes. You get a view of the engine room. You definitely see a lot of people milling about, several units of stormtroopers. There's engineers who seem to be working on engine stuff. And a few people that look like additional security but aren't stormtroopers, a few sergeants, maybe about 20 people in all that you can see from this camera angle.
Okay.
Something else happens too, because someone rolled a despair accessing Aki's computer systems.
Yep. Bring it on.
Red text that, while it is not inside your brain anymore, is a familiar style to you, starts to show up. I knew I'd find you eventually. This This will eventually end. I will stop this part of it now. You don't have long left. Stop this. Every time I find you. Every time. And all of you can see this weird sort of very out of place text sort of accruing on top of the security feed Powder has pulled up. I think everyone but Helix has seen the murder video thing with
Powder, you should probably stop accessing that terminal now. I say as I pull out my gun and prepare to shoot the terminal.
Okay.
Yeah, Powder will back up.
I shoot the terminal.
All right. I mean, do you think it's possible to fail?
Not
You
particularly.
shoot a terminal. It takes a lot of damage. You have a fairly significant gun.
Right. That was boring anyways. Shall we continue?
Query. What did you manage to... Oh, well, I'm assuming you shared the information that you managed to pull before
Yeah.
red text started showing up.
Yeah, Powder would have said there's at least two dozen.
Were they
Helix will hold up the 2 disc-shaped landmines that he pulled. Statement. I think it's time to start setting a trap once we get there.
like right outside the door?
Acknowledgement. Seems the best place.
We'd have to draw them out though, and that's difficult.
Statement. I have a disruption rifle. You have a high-powered blaster cannon.
Yeah, but that would push them further in.
Statement. We also have frag grenades.
I didn't bring any with me.
Statement.
I have one.
I did.
Oh,
I am
okay.
always prepared.
All right, that's better. Or we could throw the landmines in. Shoot them.
I was gonna say, I have one.
I have 5.
I used mine to blow a hole in the ceiling previously.
I was gonna say it's an encumbrance of 1, so I only had. I was like, I don't want to be over encumbered.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
We've got a couple of stun mines, and
Oh.
I wanted to draw people
There's
out. into
20
the
some
hallway.
people in the room you guys want to get into.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Powder will hand their frag grenade to Ares,
Oh, I'll take it, and I am now at encumbrance.
and I am now 1 down on my encumbrance.
how were you carrying the frag grenades before? Oh, you switched stuff out when you were on the ship. I remember.
Also, you can still move around while encumbered. It's just that you have setback dice doing things. So,
Yeah.
I put them up on the ceiling, so I wasn't carrying them anymore.
Very specific range of things too. You can still handle yourself pretty well while encumbered. It's just minorly annoying.
Yeah.
Encumbrance in the system is actually kind of funny because you just need to get another backpack.
Yeah. Which is why I'm able to carry that many frags, is because I have like numerous storage upgrades.
Yeah. So, all right. So, we'll figure some sort. When we see what the approach to the engine bay looks like, we'll figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
This observatory hallway opens up into a wider hallway. You take some stairs down to get, instead of heading towards the crew living sections on the sort of higher level, instead heading more towards where the engine bay and the power cells are. Lux, you haven't necessarily searched on this one, but like they're all laid out so that someone who's worked on one or lived on one can easily enough transfer to any other Star Destroyer. So you're making decent time without any trouble on directions. It does take you guys a little while, and you're all a bit tense because you know that there could be an ambush at any point, but it doesn't seem like anyone's laid out an ambush along this route. Eventually, you arrive at the engine bay doors. They're pretty large, probably about the size of double doors, currently closed and locked.
All right. So, are there any like droid maintenance hatches on the walls or floor?
Yeah, there's a for the size of an R2 droid, yes.
Yeah. So
For a Helix, no.
yeah. So we can try to bust through this door. We could try to draw them out, though I don't think that's going to be particularly effective.
Probably not.
We could try to force our way through a maintenance shaft, though that'll be painful. Or is there anything else that I'm not thinking of at the moment? Or try to hack through the door.
Yeah, I can definitely hack through the door. So I'm not necessarily opposed to most of those. That would not be the weirdest way I've contorted my body in the past. The access shaft.
Query. What kind of engine does a Star Destroyer typically function off of?
A big one.
Huge.
Yeah.
Absolute unit.
I mean, it's a hyperdrive. It's...
Query. What happens when one of those flares and the engine room is not necessarily properly shielded?
I mean,
Anyone who'd like can make me a difficulty for mechanics check.
I have no idea, though I find it, whatever that would entail would require us to damage the shielding.
I got 2 successes and 3 threat.
No idea.
All right. So, yeah, 2 of you have no idea. Powder, applying theories you've learned other places to this. Almost any engine is going to have shielding that's non-powered. So essentially it's physical shielding, or it's shielding in some way where if there's a power outage or failure and the engine doesn't immediately shut down from that failure, it's still active. So damaging the shielding would be difficult. If the shielding is sort of misplaced or something, a flare could go one of 2 ways. It could be not a big deal. These things sort of flare a bit all the time. Or it could just fireball the ship or a good portion of it.
Somewhere.
But again, unless you had somehow installed a weak point in this Star Destroyer during its construction, that's going to be very tricky and would definitely require someone with specialized mechanics knowledge of Star Destroyer engines.
I mean, nonsensical weak points do seem to be a specialty of the Empire.
True.
Though none of us are named Urso, though, so.
Yeah, Powder will basically say, it will either do nothing or kill us all.
That's quite
Somewhere.
a fucking range.
That's not a range. That was a binary either or.
I mean, it's still like either you'll run a marathon or you'll die. Like
That was a flip switch, or a switch flip. There was no middle ground there of kill some people but not us.
Powder,
Lux is correct.
there's easier ways to fireball the ship from the engine.
Somewhere Corey's like, "Are you guys fucking idiots?"
Statement. My query is more along the
Very
lines
sad
of...
it does not know why.
statement. My query is more along the lines of where would a good explosive or projectile need to be placed to cause enough of a bad reaction to fry the inhabitants of the engine room?
If we open the door for like just a second, fired in and then closed it again, is what you're saying.
Acknowledgement, something like that.
I mean, if they're visible, if we hit like the power cells or something, I'd imagine. Did enough damage to critical system.
Statement. The hallmark of an assassin is to look at superior numbers and simply see a challenge of placing the right shot in the right location.
Well, if we could get through that, I say pointing at the maintenance shaft, we could probably get eyes on the inside to sort of understand what we're seeing.
Query. 3-8, do you think that you could get a visual on the inside?
There's an affirmative beep, and create sort of heads down. Let's see. Helix, you get a sort of comm beep, and one of those blue hollow things pops up, showing a very basic layout of the room beyond. It's fairly large and made up of a sort of spiderweb spiral of those catwalks that are common to Star Wars engines.
Mm-hmm.
Below the catwalk, there's a pulsing green energy, presumably some element of the ship's core power. There's quite a few different terminals and sort of access points throughout the room.
So I sort of indicate the holographic projection. Query, do any of you more mechanically minded individuals see any potential explosive weak points?
Looking at the hologram, do I happen to see? I'm not being a particularly mechanically minded individual. I'm looking for life support power, radiation shielding, and just like general like weapon, like the weapon battery powers, anything like that on the hologram.
Mechanics difficulty 1. Is anyone else looking for something specific?
Yeah, I'm mostly looking for like circuit breakers and surge protectors, things that prevent power from overloading, because an overload in this area is bad. So difficulty what?
2.
2 mechanics? Cool.
Powder being the person with actual mechanics.
I was gonna say, yeah. Can I look for what Helix was trying to find?
Yeah, difficulty 2.
Mechanics. I do not have an upgrade, thank you. I do not have any boost die.
5 successes.
All right.
I have a success.
Yay!
Yeah. All right. So Helix, you can see a few different circuit breakers. Powder, there's definitely things that if shot would either shut down the room or create an explosion. You don't know if there's something that's big enough to destroy the entire room that wouldn't require someone to actively like be inside the room setting it off.
All right. Powder will inform Helix of those spots.
There's something in there that someone inside the room could damage that you can see.
Yeah.
But
that would create the level of fireball Helix is looking for to annihilate everything.
Yeah. If somebody was inside.
Yeah, if someone was inside.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. So there's the closest one to the door would be along the first of the sort of catwalks. About halfway through, there's a terminal with power cables running to it. That would.
Yeah. we'll point out what needs to be pointed out.
And would that
But
be
again, you'd need to actively be inside the room.
Yeah. would that be something that I could just shoot it and it would explode and chain reaction?
Would it do a chain reaction?
Like, is that how that would work, or would I have to actually mess with controls and do things that are technical?
Harry's looking at the angle. You couldn't get an angle on it.
Then if I was inside, like if I was in there right at the terminal, would I just have to shoot it and it would explode, or what would I need to do?
You'd want to shoot it or maybe stab it with a vibro knife if you had one.
All right.
Yeah.
Because out of the group of us, if we wanted to do the most damage with the least amount of collateral, I might not survive, but I might survive, and I'm the only one that there's a might there for.
Statement. We don't need to run death-defying risks. There are a number of smaller explosive targets within the room. And while we might not be able to achieve a truly cataclysmic explosion without risk to ourselves, the point of assassination is killing more with less, and we can still make some very efficient kills.
All right.
Are we entirely sure that the people in the engine room are even going to be down with trying to take out the people who've just slaughtered their way through the ship?
There is apparently some sort of a monetary incentive for killing us.
Right, I'm aware of this.
So,
But
yes.
Query, would you like to take the risk of having to fight the 20 or so individuals within this room? Or would you rather kill...
I'm walking over to the comm.
Okay.
And I'm turning it on.
Okay.
I'm going to try and direct it specifically to the engine room. But if it goes throughout the ship, I'm okay with that.
I mean, you're the one that's outside the engine room door.
Yeah. Okay.
You can go into the engine.
Hello. My name is Luxira. I used to be one of you. Well, not one of you. I used to be an agent of the Empire. I am no longer an agent of the Empire. And over the last few hours, I and my friends have systematically cut, sliced, shot, blown up, stabbed, gouged, punched, kneed, scratch, clawed, etc. our way through a pretty sizable portion of your upper management in relation to the ship and this planet. Those are the people in charge. Those are the people who are responsible who are answerable to very few people and act with some degree of autonomy. I know you people well enough to know you are not necessarily responsible for your own autonomy. However, I also know the kinds of people that the late not so great Akitora hired. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to be in that engine room. What I do know is this is probably not the only way in or out of the engine room. Therefore, I'm going to make you guys a deal. Anybody who wants to go and not deal with the sheer and utter killing potential of the individuals on my side of this door can leave. I'm sure you can get to the hangar. I'm sure you can get away. And then you can escape into the galaxy, do whatever you want with your life. This is a one-time warning. A one-time offer. Because I know that not everybody who works for the Empire is doing it entirely of their own accord, or perhaps would leave if they got the opportunity to. I want you to have the same chance that I took for myself. I'm going to give you 1 minute.
Are you perhaps trying to influence them?
That is the hope.
Can't do that over an intercom.
No, not influence. I am hoping for charm, something like that, leadership, something like that, negotiation,
Yeah, let me look.
intimidation.
You can roll me you can roll me a coercion roll.
Okay. I'm not great at that.
Does
but-
Lux get any benefits
look.
for having killed Aki Torres?
No,
Damn it.
not at all. Sorry.
Hey, look, there are light side points.
There are.
I am taking one of those
You do that.
because I don't have. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty 2, degrees of success are going to be really important here.
Yep. How coercion. Okay, so here's the question. With my influence ability, it automatically goes into any of these. It automatically goes into any of those rolls. Am I taking that die out? That's fine.
Yeah, you're taking that die out because
Okay. I'll just roll it and then it'll not. Yeah.
the supernatural element of your charisma is not relevant here.
There's still 2 successes.
Okay. With 2 successes, pretty quickly someone comes on the comm on the other line. If you want to do a pitch battle, I'm kind of down for that, if I'm honest. It is really fucking boring here. But we can just disable the tractor beam. You guys can leave. If you don't want to kill random.
Cool roll. Determine
yeah.
how serious, how honest they're being.
Sure.
But also needed the weapon systems.
God damn it.
Like, no promises that anyone else who'd like to make a cool roll also can.
Sure, why not?
Why?
Like, no promises you won't get jumped by people in the murder game on the way back, but
The droids are far more better at reading people's voices over intercoms than the humans. Well,
yeah.
the Mandalorian and the Zeltron.
Lex, you tangentially understand that Aki just recruits weird people. So this is
Right.
not outside of the realm of expected responses.
Right.
Aries, you don't know.
I
It
don't
doesn't
care.
necessarily matter tons to you. Powder and Helix, you're both reasonably confident this person is being upfront and honest. Helix, you think there might be some ulterior motivation. Maybe their stake in this murder game involves you guys getting away.
Mm-hmm.
But the offer seems to be at least as genuine as Lux's opposite offer.
Which is genuine.
Notation. Disabling the tractor beam doesn't actually do what we need to do here.
Yeah, we need the weapon systems disabled as well. And the ion shielding.
Right. You guys hear that?
Well, you need the ion shielding disabled if you're going to blow up the things inside of it, the GM reminds you.
Yes.
Yeah. The ultimate goal is to get the thing to stop firing on the landmass below, but
Yeah.
I can either disable tractor beams and weapon system, or I can disable the tractor beams and promise that as soon as your ship leaves the hangar bay, I'll put us in hyperspace. But no, I like my ship. I'm not blowing it up for you.
I'm not unopposed to that.
Can I make another cool roll to see if that secondary promise is
Sure.
just as honest?
Me too.
I have no idea.
This time I'm apparently clued into their bullshit.
Yeah. This time it's the opposite, where the droids have no idea.
Lux, would you like to?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I'm
No, you're pissy with other stuff. I didn't mean to.
no, you're good.
So, Aries, you're actually pretty familiar with negotiating specifically. And like the offer is delivered in a similar way, and it seems like a reasonable increment up. That and there's definitely a defensive I will murder you edge to I'm not blowing up my ship.
Yeah.
That you find familiar. Lux, you're also reasonably, this person seems pretty forward, if a little odd.
okay. Fuck.
Do we have a deal?
I mean, sounds good to me.
Can we cut the comm system for a second? Can we cut the comm
Yeah.
for a second, please?
The comm system will be activated when you press the button to activate.
pull finger off the comm. So, I mean, at this point, it's up to you, Lux, as the representative of the rebellion here. Is just sending them away so that they can come back again later with a different admiral enough?
I don't know that they're going to come back. I don't know that they're going to consider. Remember, they sent their loose cannon out here. And you know what?
Notation, they sent their loose cannon that has a record of getting things done out here.
It's also
Yeah.
still a valuable colony.
You know what? If they come back, there might be somebody waiting. I'm okay with it.
Disable the tractor beam and the weapons and hyperdrive and hyperspace out of here, and we don't come through this door and kill all of you.
You are no fun, and I want you to know that.
I am covered in the guts and gore of about 6 other people at the moment. So
Okay, that is fun. But you're no fun if you don't want us firing at you while we hyperdrive away. Yeah, bye. See ya, deal.
all right.
Let's do it. All right, let's get the fuck off of this ship.
While we're walking back, I calm Jez. Query, Jez, are the tractor beams coming offline?
Let me check. There's a sort of long pause. I mean, they're sure not firing anytime soon. Doesn't seem like they. Yeah, probably.
That's good. I would hate to be like dooty dooty doo. Oh, we're like 2 hallways away, just promptly without even taking a beat, shifting and turning back around.
Are the
All
guns
right.
still firing?
Guns locked, lightsabers activated.
The group of you presumably head back towards the hangar bay.
I mean,
Yep.
verifying that the guns are stopped firing too.
Yeah. So in secondary query, we can find out if the guns have stopped firing just by listening for the report. But secondary query, how is our present coming along?
It's as done as it's gonna be. I don't know if this is gonna work. I think I did okay.
Acknowledgement. We'll leave it for when they jump to hyperspace.
Right. Once they're in hyperspace, I'll do it immediately or I'll lose signal connection. You can't really
Acknowledgement. Perfect timing.
Okay.
As they're at the point of no return.
Yeah.
We send a half crippled Star Destroyer into a hyperspace loop.
That is how crashes in hyperspace happen.
It is.
That is how some poor smuggler is like going along a hyperspace lane perfectly fine.
And then a Star Destroyer rams into them.
A piece of metal flies in and kills this random dude.
Well, now we know what happened to Kyle Katarn in the new Disney universe.
Oh.
That's why he doesn't exist anymore. The Force did not save him from that.
So we head back to the Coyote.
You guys head back to the. Are you heading back to the Coyote or the shuttle that some of you came here on?
The Coyote.
Okay. So
Yeah.
after a fair amount of Ares lifting people over,
Yeah.
All right,
Take off.
get in the ship, heading off.
We start flying.
Okay.
And
As
watch.
you start flying, the ship, the Star Destroyer next to you starts to extend, and the lights that indicate a hyperdrive activating do so. And so there are 10 if you're going to activate it.
Yes.
Okay. Here's how this is going to work. There are 10
TIE fighters.
10 TIE fighters. If all 10 of them explode, that's enough that the ion shielding won't be enough in the hangar bay. I'm going to be rolling a d6 each for each of those TIE fighters. Any light side force points you guys currently have can be used to make a 1, not a 1. On a 1, a TIE fighter doesn't explode.
Cool.
She has about a 1 in 6 chance of failing that check.
We've got one light side point left.
All right. That is a lot of fun.
That is a lot of.
It's all right. It'll at least disable their entire bay of TIE fighters.
Yeah. So you definitely hear an explosion given how close you are, but you do not see the entire ship successfully fireball.
I mean, it's in hyperspace. It's fine. It's not going to be coming back anytime soon.
But yes, it's not coming back anytime soon.
And there's still significant damage done.
You guys descend onto this world where everything has been reduced to rubble.
And
with no idea what the Empire was here for or if they got it. But one particularly dangerous figure destroyed. And some explosives you need to deliver.
I mean, that's going to be a situation where once we get down to the planet.
If the Nasari is still intact.
Well, yeah, we're checking to see if the Nasari is intact, but if not, well, hopefully it is. It's going to be a situation of, Ares, Helix, I have one more thing I need you guys to do. I need you to take half of the fragmentation grenades on that ship and deliver them to Crossroads.
I can do that.
On the ship. You're not flying the ship away. That's my fucking ship.
And with that...
Rotation. Welcome to the Coyote, Ares Artinos.
Sounds good.
The red last bits of sunlight fading from this world, we are going to end Star Wars Afterlight Skies.
We lived.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.